talk today about the intersection of AI and blockchain and how do you kind of really monetize. Now look at this. I mean, these are some of the top brands in the world. And in the last year itself, we had more than 300 of these brands actually do a Web3 project and engage with fans in various ways. And so, if you think that these are all kind of, new technologies and just beginning, actually, no. We are actually at a place where some of the top brands have even adopted it and are doing some fantastic work. And I'm going to take you through that today in my presentation. Before we jump into it, what is Web 1? So Web 1 was really about, one-way communication. So think of, you guys went to like a page and we all went to a web page and kind of, just had a one-way communication, just read through it. And then there was the whole social networks, and I worked in Facebook for almost like a decade. And that's when, the real messaging and communication started in a two-way fashion, which we call Web 2, which is you could actually comment, you could express yourself. And now, the future is Web 3, which is, we all are super passionate about, which is a decentralized world where, the publishers and the fans have direct connection. And it's all about ownership and identity, etc. And all of this is literally powered by blockchain. And the technology gives you, a lot of innovation around it. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about how this is panning out. Essentially, you can think of the four pillars, right? So first pillar is ownership and really identity. If there is a digital good or an NFT, and if you're a buyer, you are authenticated, and there is an identity because it is on the blockchain. And so that actually opens up amazing amount of opportunity for innovation because, if you are owning the digital asset, you can actually trade it. You have an identity and you can do a lot of things around it. And that is so exciting for the brands because think of this, like rewards and loyalties can now move to a very authenticated system. So instead of, going and collecting your miles on some web page and, looking at, your hotel points, you are actually owning them and the brands are actually giving it to you and you are the owner of it and you can literally transfer it and monetize it and do a lot of things with it. And then that leads to co-creation, which means that you are actually participating with it. And all of this underlying, in the blockchain and then there is gamification aspect to it. So let's understand a little more with examples, and this is going to be fascinating to kind of see, right? So Axie Infinity is a game which actually launched all the gaming assets on the blockchain. And so they were NFTs. So, I'm sure there are a lot of gamers here. And what you do is basically when you are going and playing the game and buying the asset, you're actually owning it. And when you're doing great in the game, the asset is increasing in its in value. And so, you're actually playing to earn. And then you can, transfer that to someone else. And you can, do things inside it with that value. And that is fascinating. So I feel like, the whole gaming world is moving to blockchain. And this is going to be the reality on the gaming side of things. Think of you every day go and buy in the morning a cup of Starbucks coffee, and you really don't have to order the same coffee every day, don't have to pay for the same coffee, just buy an NFT and authenticate it, and you get to the shop and just take it. And Starbucks runs this Odyssey program, which is hugely popular, and it's completely on the chain, and people buy NFTs and engage with it. There are other interesting brands which have done amazing innovation. For example, Coca-Cola. So think of Kinder Joy, right? We used to have those Kinder Joy eggs open up, and we would be very excited what comes out of it. And so what Coca-Cola did is you buy this happiness bottle, gift it to your friend, and when the friend opens it, actually happiness comes out and you get a reward out of it. And all that is in blockchain, so you actually own the bottle, you give it to your friend, then the friend owned the bottle, what came out the asset was owned, etc. And it's just fascinating to see all of this. And the same is, even high-value brands. Today Louis Vuitton launched a digital good, which is a digital bag, and if you purchase that, you get the physical bag, and it's kind of tallied, and it's authenticated, and it's kind of this whole combining the physical world with the digital world and having authentication is very exciting. And the same is what, for example, Gucci did. Was that they created this whole space where you could go and see all the collection in the digital world, and you could buy some of them, and then that unlocks, rewards for you, discounts and all of that, and you have actual ownership. And the real life, case studies here are very fascinating, even from traditional organizations like airlines, right? So if you think of Etihad and Flybondi, what they did was very, very fascinating. So one is, every one of us wants to, go to that lounge and have access to it or get an upgrade, etc. And we may not have the miles, we may not have the status. And what Etihad did is, hey, you buy these NFTs and you get that, and you can actually show that and go to their lounge. And even if you don't have a status or those miles, you can actually even trade it, etc. with your friends. And then think of tickets, right? Every time we buy an air ticket, we were like, oh, I want to cancel it. I want to, reschedule it. And then it's like impossible to do it. So Flybondi is like, hey, these tickets are NFTs. And if you can't make a trip, give it to your friend, let them buy it. It's all authenticated. You can, your friend can purchase it and fly. So it's just amazing amount of innovation happening in this place, and even like traditional, and it's not restricted to just brands, but even think of media companies, right? Look, so second one, like the Fox, they did a new show where, in earlier times we used to do like SMS voting, and it's like so archaic, and now it's like, hey, India's got talent happening, and all the talent are, the player cards or the picture cards are all NFTs, and people are actually buying it, and then that is actually a voting mechanism, and that's what is happening is in the new age media, and a lot of even older traditional houses like auction houses like Sotheby's, etc., are adopting it, where they are actually doing NFT sales of art, etc. Our own MF Hussain did a phygital version, which is like if you buy a physical one, there is a digital one, and it pairs, and you can show it, and it gives you a certificate of authenticity. And a lot of innovation happening even in the sports field, where it's like, hey, a big moment has happened, there's a goal which is scored, or ICC doing like, okay, that's the last 6 which was hit on the last ball, and okay, I am able to like really own that video or own that picture, and it's authenticated. Think of it as like a signed book, right? And so a book signed with the author's signature, and that's what is so precious to own. And tomorrow it can unlock rewards for you. You can like show it around, you can even play with it. And the same thing is happening with even gamification, where like player cards, right? So imagine, when I was small, I used to go and buy those player cards, trade it with my friends, etc. And now all of them are on the blockchain. I own those player cards. I'm able to trade it with my friends, and we are able to play games with it, especially like NFT fantasy games and others. And it's just a fascinating world of huge amount of innovation happening there. And the last piece here is like what Reddit did was super interesting. The next generation really feels like this is their identity. And avatars are a big thing now, and what they did was they did like NFT avatars, so you could buy it and then you could make that as your profile. So we all did DPs or profile pictures, but they were not like on the chain, they are not authenticated. You can actually create them, put it on the chain, and like boom, it's just so fascinating. So you saw that a lot of brands have innovated around this space. I think the biggest innovator here has been Nike, and you should check it out, shoes.com. What they do is also, they actually release designs of the sneakers first as digital goods and see what the community is talking about. They let the community create the sneakers itself, and then actually a physical version comes out. And so cool, right? For a brand to actually know what will sell even before and create that whole horror, and also have only a limited edition or limited number of things which they sell is just fascinating. And they keep on doing like these rewards around things. So if you're owning any of those NFTs, you can actually unlock, get a discount at the store, get like some specials and all of that. And it's just a fascinating world for people like me who are like kind of Nike enthusiasts. And so this is just the beginning. Every industry is frankly adopting this, and Gen AI is actually leading a lot of this, because a lot of the creation is actually being created by Gen AI and then put it on the blockchain, and then people are kind of buying it. And if you think of even traditional industries, businesses, service, healthcare, is also kind of leveraging the power of blockchain. And that's what our company does. We are a marketplace for digital goods, and so a lot of brands, etc., come and create on our platform. They put it on our platform, and then users come and buy it, and then we let them unlock rewards very, very easily. If you've never purchased NFT, I know a lot of you haven't. You can actually scan the QR code. You get a free NFT on our app. And if you want to attend a workshop, we are doing actually a workshop at today afternoon. And so you will be able to create an NFT of your own. You will be able to put it up for sale. You'll be able to give it to your friends and even buy it. And so this is a new world, and it's actually huge, and you saw like all the brands are actually adopting it, and we are all very excited about it. Thank you so much.